Hi everybody, it's your friendly neighborhood hangar hobbit here, and welcome aboard the SB2U3, the Vindicator. This is a perfect example of how a plane that was complete crap in real life can be a monster in War Thunder. No, he wasn't stupid enough to take a hit on. Oh well. This right here is a subscriber request from Grenadier on Beans, who said I should take this plane out. This one's for you, buddy. Good Lord, is this thing a troll plane? That is all this thing is. You're not going to be winning any battles with it, but good Lord, can you troll with this thing, especially those poor bombers. They really don't have much of a chance against this thing. What you've got with this bird is two 50 cals in the front and a 50 cal in the rear. And Gaijin, we need to have a talk about that. Explain to me, Gaijin, how it makes any sense at all that the 50 cals in the front only have AP rounds, but the 50 cal in the back has API, even though they're both M2 Brownings. I mean, seriously, Gaijin, do you really think that they're going to sit around and have a special pile of bullets just for rear gunners and go, nope, front gunners can't have that. That's only for the rear gunners. I mean, does that make any sense to you? It's just dumb. Good Lord, Gaijin, you want to be realistic? Fix that. Oh, but look what we got here. Looks like this little D4 was trying to do a little bomber trolling himself, but he screwed up and forgot one of the golden rules. Always keep an eye on what's behind you. Keep that head on a swivel. And one of the nice things about this bird is with 1,600 rounds of 50 cals, you can do some spraying and some praying. And you're going to have to, because this thing does not have the greatest elevator. As you can see, I'm having to do some serious pulling to get them guns on, but once they get on, oh yeah, they definitely do the work. Now there's a good reason why I call this a troll plane and not a heavy fighter like the IL-2. The IL-2, if you fly it really good, can carry a match. This thing, it's not carrying no matches. The problem is the speed. This thing has 0 speed in a straight line. Kicks behind in a dive, but once you use that up, that's it. That is all you are getting. I mean, look at this right here. I've got this thing pedal to the metal 100%, because if you use the wet for any length of time, this motor just roasts. And look at that top speed. Ugh. I mean, this thing's about the same top speed as a biplane. You ain't getting anywhere fast in this bird. But if you can catch them in one of two situations, either they don't see you coming, so you can sneak up on them, or they're stupid enough to take a hit on, oh yeah, you can do some slaughtering in this bird. See, that's the issue with this thing over the IL-2, the Bowfighters, things like that. They have at least enough agility. If you keep them wound up, they can do some work. But look at that Key 44 just whip that thing around. I have no choice right now but to go for a dive, because that's the only way I can deal with this guy. If I try to whip that thing around with as bad as the elevator and rudder is on this thing, he's just going to do loop-de-loops all the way around me and stay under me where my rear gunner can't do any work. But one thing I do have on him is a dive, because this baby has a little secret weapon right there, those air brakes. You will find if you drop down on big fighters or bombers, those air brakes can seriously give you the right shot. Oh yeah, gotta like that crit. This is another chance to point out an issue you're going to see with this thing. Look at the fighters behind me. What do you see? The Canoe of Doom, Key 61-1, Key 43s. Basically, this is pretty close to a max up tier, and this is what you're going to see in about 85% of your matches. Is he going to be stupid enough to take a hit on? Oh, I appreciate that. I thank you. When you get down on the ground like this, that's pretty much all you can do in this thing, because you can't climb. But, got to love that rear gunner. Come on, buddy. There you go. Thank you there, pal. I appreciate that. I so love it when they're stupid enough to camp on the rear end of a plane with a rear gunner. But now I'm pretty much stuck. I got no rear gunner. Their engine's not going to outrun any of these, so all I can do is try to force a head on, but this thing, it just doesn't like to turn. as you can see. This is what I mean. This thing just cannot carry. And sadly, you see that pretty little bird right there? Yep, that Corsair. Yep, in about 45 seconds, he's going to drive that thing straight into the ground because he thinks diving from space on a Key 43 is the way to get a kill. So let's just go ahead and go on into that next match, shall we? And now you're going to see why I consider this thing a real troll plane. You see, normally I like to at least try to let bombers drop their bombs before I tear into them so they can get at least a little RP out of it, because, you know, flying bombers sucks. But with this thing, you can't do it. You just can't. Look at my top speed. Top cruising speed with WEP is about 318, maybe 320 kilometers an hour. You're not going to catch anything with this. If they get past you, that's it. You get one shot and one shot only, and then that's it. So you have got to take them kills where you can get it. Sorry there, Doe. I'm sorry about that, but I can't let you get away now. Just not happening. As I mosey on over this HE-111, let me talk a little bit about this bird. This bird goes all the way back to 1934. So this thing is freaking ancient. Vought only made 250 of these birds, and they first started flying with the Navy in 1936. And from everything I've read, nobody liked this bird. The Marines called it the wind indicator and the vibrator. The Navy didn't have nice things to say about it. Like the Buffalo, this was one of those planes that in real life was a big flying hunk of junk. It was too slow, too underpowered. The guns weren't the greatest. It didn't have any top speed. It was okay in a dive, couldn't climb worth a crap. It was just a big pile of poo. Which, like I said, might be that way in real life. In War Thunder, totally different story. And this right here is just sad. Look at how long it's taken me to cross over here to get to this HE-111. That guy still ain't brought that thing down. Come on, buddy. Good Lord. I believe that's the French version of this bird, but he don't seem to know how to make it work, because he's been running and running and running and shooting and shooting and shooting. And that HE-111 seems to be just leaving his poor behind in the dirt. Like I said, you got to catch him while you can, because this thing, the top speed, no, you got to get it. So if he ain't going to get the job done, I guess I'm going to have to put that sucker down. Come here, 111. Don't worry. Don't you worry, I'll make it quick. There we go. Gotta like them crits. That's it. Bring her up. Oh, gonna overshoot now, which in this thing is pretty dang rare. But be sure to keep an eye on that little circle there, showing where I'm pulling at versus where this thing actually goes. This thing is the very definition of the word sluggish. I mean, not only does it not have any power, but them elevators and them rudders, they just don't want to pull. Oh, but that didn't save that poor HE-111. Sorry, buddy, you had to go. Too bad, so sad, better you than me. But now you're about to see what I was talking about when it comes to carrying matches. Because I got a 109 above and a 109 below. And I would love to tear into them 109s. If I had just a 5, maybe even 6% more agility in this thing, I probably could. But the problem's going to be that both of them are going to see me coming. And with this thing, it is so trivially easy to dodge it if they see you coming. All they got to do is pull just a little bit. Pull a little to the left, pull a little to the right, and there ain't going to be anything you can do, because this thing, it turns like a bus with 2 flat tires. I mean, watch this 109, and be sure to keep an eye on that circle. Look at how hard I'm yanking on this thing, trying to get that nose around. I'm giving it everything she has got, trying to get it to pull ahead. And you can see this thing, it just does not want to turn. It just don't. It's just way too heavy and way too underpowered. It just will not pull it. And doing this up and over maneuver, just look at how much speed I bleed in this thing, and look at how bad it wobbles. This thing, it has no energy retention at all. You try to do anything in the vertical and you are bleeding energy like a stuck hog. You can see my engine's already cooking. I'm throwing this thing around. I'm trying to get just that gun solution just once. Maybe even try to do a stall drop just to hope I can get ahead of him, but it just don't want to do it. Even with the flaps, as you can see, I am fighting this thing like crazy, and there just wasn't nothing I could do. That's why it's really more of a one-trick pony. You get that shot, you go after the bombers, and then hope that there's a nice furball below that you can sneak in and snatch you a kill or two. Now, what does that HE-112 think he's doing? Our runway is right freaking there. Is this guy nuts? Good Lord, 112, you definitely don't want to be kissing runway, not on this friggin' map. Are you crazy? I've seen that thing take out bombers from 3,400 feet. You definitely don't want to try to skim the treetops and get it. At least he seems to have gotten a little bit of sense and pulled away from it. Good Lord, I'd be afraid to get even that close with a freaking plane in this map. Not with the AAA being radar-guided laser scopes. It's too dangerous. This right here does show you one good advantage of this thing. The only reason I'm getting a shot at all at that 112 is because the rest of my team's having to land and rearm. If it wasn't for that, they would all just blow right past me and get right on this sucker, and there wouldn't be a dang thing I can do about it. Not at all. But luckily for me, they're all ammo dry. I still got rounds to burn. Now, what is that 112 going to do? Oh, is he going to pull up? Is it my birthday? Thank you, 112. I so love it when people pull right up in front of my guns. I so appreciate that. Well, I'm going to land this bird and rearm. By the time I get done with that, the very last guy is going to be halfway across the map. And of course, with this thing, I ain't going to get within 7 kilometers of that sucker before he's dead. So let's go ahead and skip ahead to the end of the match, because I seriously doubt you want to see me spend 3.5 minutes bringing this slow thing around and landing on the runway. Shall we? Second place on the team? Yeah, I'll take it. Especially for a little troll bird like this. I think the top repair price on this thing is like $660. I mean, it's just a little bit of nothing. As you can see, nice score, but you're not going to get squat on research. Gotta thank Grenadier on Beans for telling me to take this thing out, because it's a fun little bird. But ultimately, what do I think of it? It is the Cannon Stuka at Tier 1. It's a one run and done bird. You take that killer bomber spawn, you go after the bombers or anything else up high, and that's it, because once you get down, you're not getting back up. But just like with that Cannon Stuka, if you make a good run of it, if you take that one shot and you make it count, yeah, you can troll in this thing. You can just make bombers wet themselves. So I'd like to thank again Grenadier on Beans. Y'all be sure to like and share this video, and let me know of any other birds you'd like to see me fly. And I hope to see you up there in the clouds. Have a good one, y'all.